Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we have some very, very interesting quotes from Mark Breland, ex-trainer or co-trainer of the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Okay, so last night, Mark Breland spoke with Spencer Fearon and Tunde Ajayi. And he didn't hold any punches. Mark Breland has been silent throughout the whole slanderous accusation process that Deontay Wilder went through after he tasted defeat for the first time as a professional at the hands of the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Okay, so Deontay Wilder was silent for a while, and the LDBC group of boxing channels came out with a veritable slew of excuses, theories as to why Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury. But no, hold on, wait. At first, the LDBC were almost complimentary. They admitted defeat. They opted to be gracious in defeat. But then a character who wasn't even a boxing channel, goes by the name of Black Pharaoh, came up with a theory. And that theory led to what will go down in the annals of boxing history as Glovegate. It was a theory that purported the idea that there were irregularities with the gloves of Tyson Fury. And then those channels went from being complimentary to being downright defamatory. Deontay Wilder maintained a silence for several months. And the question was, what would he say when he re-emerged? Would he go down that route, the Glovegate route, or would he talk more sensibly? Well, many people were to be disappointed when he took option A, went down the Glovegate route, talking pure and utter nonsense and pure gibberish. And throughout that period, Mark Breland maintained a dignified silence. One of Deontay Wilder's most ridiculous theories, they were all ridiculous, but one of the most ridiculous, if not the most ridiculous act that Deontay Wilder took is that he suggested, and this one was one that he came up with all by himself, he suggested that his water had been spiked by none other than Mark Breland himself, his co-trainer. And this theory was even too ridiculous for some of his most ardent Wildettes. Some of the most ardent Wildettes, even they couldn't roll with the theory that Mark Breland had spiked Deontay's water. But nonetheless, Deontay Wilder went ahead and fired Mark Breland. You'll recall I did the video commenting on the story that came out immediately after the fight, that Mark Breland was not allowed back in the dressing room and had to wait outside, crying in despair. And that in itself was shameful. But to go ahead and then fire the guy on the most ridiculous of assertions was a step simply too far for many Wildettes. And they left. And throughout it all, Mark Breland maintained his silence. But last night, he spoke up, and he had some very, very powerful and damning and scorching things to say about Deontay Wilder. One of the most scorching things he had to say about Wilder is Wilder is done. Wilder is done. All Wilder has is power. We'll see how far that takes him. He's done. Mark Breland then went on to say that Wilder, if they fight a third time, Wilder will get done in again by Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. What else did he say? He said JDs don't know much about boxing. OMG. All he knows they have to do is hold the pads. And as for the water thing, he said he never had anything to do with the water. If you look back on the tape, he wasn't holding the water. He didn't hold the water. JD's held the water, not him. And as far as the glove gate's concerned, if there was anything wrong with the gloves, then that's on JD's. JD's was the one who was in there watching Tyson Fury have his hands wrapped and his glove fitted. So, very, very strong and scorching words from the ex-co-trainer of Deontay Wilder, Mark Breland. And yeah, what can I say? It was hard hitting. Mark Breland didn't hold any punches. Ex-world champion, two-time, and of course ex-Olympic champion or former Olympic champion. Still got the gold medal, so he's still a champ to me. But yeah, those were the words from Mark Breland on Stamina for Sale. Go check it out. Have your say in the comment section. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And for sure, if you missed last night's live podcast, then it's Boxing Talk with Rafi 223, where we cover this and more topics. So in the meantime, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the Mark Breland with his scorching words directed at Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is done. All he has is power. We'll see how far that takes him. And I'm out.